Hello, I am Johnson172 of the United Nations, and today I'm going to be speaking on the topic of the terror group known as the Halcyon Radicalists. These terrorists have touted broken promises of destruction towards our great organization for 9 long months. I am proud to announce that these promises were unfulfilled. Through an investigation into Visari's fake clan and intelligence provided by our benefactors, the United Nations has discovered that what was once known as the NRI is nothing more than a partisan group of loyalist fanatics, a group that relies on pulling players from across the community to meet their quota for military engagements. The United Nations will not stand idly by and watch as HalcyonVisari spreads misinformation about his so-called organization. The NRI has been dead for a very long time. They haven't conducted a true boot camp in almost a year. In fact, Visari admits the NRI doesn't do boot camps anymore. How can a so-called military clan not have a boot camp? Well, I can tell you why. Visari doesn't run a clan. He runs a group of 6 Halcyon loyalists and likely 4 or more pulled players, currently operating in other clans. Back in August, I ran an operation against the NRI in hopes to drive them out of the sewers, into the limelight, to fight me and my small group of Terran rebels. Instead of fighting, they ran and hid behind DA's back, proving that they were not capable of defending the land they called claim to. Since then, Visari has touted that the NRI would come back stronger than ever, and I put my past with him aside to hopefully see a new dawn for his organization. I was optimistic, so I gave them the Helgen territory I took from him as a sign of good faith. But once again, Visari has a tendency to put these good wishes aside and fail those who give him the slightest of hope to be better than he is. He would continuously threaten UN affiliates, and after stepping in to tell him respectfully to stand down, Visari once again made threats of war. The UN would attempt to fight Visari twice. The first, he would cancel on us after not being able to muster 8 men. And the second time, we would have to outright cancel our activity due to proof being uncovered that he was pulling players. The United Nations requested a lineup and a proof of activity for each member by Wednesday, July 8th. He would not send us this, and he was well aware we would not conduct activities with a clan who would happen to field pulled players. We hold ourselves to a higher standard than to conduct operations against a group who cannot field loyal and well-earned members. As I said back in August of 2019, the NRI is dead, and the day of the Halcyon is most certainly over. The combined effort of Clan Orda during the Halcyon Wars was enough to completely decimate their organization, making Visari resign as chairman and making the NRI move to a completely different game, GTA 5. There, the NRI would sit and hide until returning early 2019. They would find initial success fielding Sentinel against the GRA and the GRA community war. But that success would be short-lived, as Sentinel would turn against them, once again making their numbers dwindle to almost nothing. Defeat after defeat, exposure after exposure, this fanatical fascist group has finally lost its most loyal and long-supporting members, such as Halcyon Centauri, Halcyon Invictus, and Halcyon Radic. After the team tack with Clan Orda, several of these Halcyons surrendered and stepped away from this radical partisan group. Due to the findings of players being pulled and Visari's half-baked lies and full-fledged unearned ego, the United Nations will officially be supporting and signing the Ortarian blockade against the Halcyon Partisans, and activities have been banned with this terrorist organization. Members of the Halcyon resolve, your leader Visari has failed you, and he will continue to fail you as long as you continue to support his reckless and ill-advised decisions. As we speak now, pockets of Halcyon loyalists are being routed out from their foxholes across the small remnants of territory they attempt to hold on to. The Halcyons are a dying breed, a virus that must be snuffed out. They are an example of what this community should not become. They are a toxic people, one that has dabbled in things that make this community at times, hard to deal with. And so, that is why we are signing this blockade, because we know that this community can be better than this. The United Nations has faith that we can all move forward into a new era, leaving the dark past behind us once Halo Infinite releases. So I urge you all to sign this blockade, so we can once and for all drive out the Halcyon menace, not through warfare, but by not giving in to their demand for activity. Sometimes it is better not to fight than to fight, and this is one of those times, my friends. Together, we can move forward into a new era, where pulling players is not accepted, where the behavior of HalcyonVisari and those who attempt to act like him is unacceptable. Together, we can move forward and create a brighter and better future for this great place. Always ready, always there.